want to talk about hip hop a little bit, right?
Sure.
I don't know, Dave, you're a hip hop guy. Monty,
Yeah.
you're involved in hip hop. So I saw Kendrick was nominated for 7 Grammys for Not Like Us, right? But I kept seeing Lil Wayne still going on his tangent, crying about this Super Bowl thing. Now, my whole thing is this. Is it worth to still be crying about? Because I feel like it's not nobody's fault that they didn't pick him for the Super Bowl when they've been had a Super Bowl in New Orleans a bunch of times.
I think Wayne got to get over that.
He got to get over it.
You're risking burning the relationship with something that you obviously want to be a part of. So once you continue down this path of this, every time we see you, it's the woe is me thing. You're better. You Lil Wayne, you better than that, bro. Like
that's what I'm saying. I feel like to see him, and then even the Jay-Z with the taxes thing, and then he was at the Weezy-thon, and then he wanted to play the Mr. Carter song saying the opportunity was stripped from him. I don't think Jay-Z is running around telling everybody we're purposely not going to pick Lil Wayne for the Super Bowl. I just don't think that's happening. I think it's a little bit of an entitlement thing, to truth be told, if you ask me.
I got a bit of a different take.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Well, first thing is, it's New Orleans, right? Like, to me, if you don't have the following individuals or their particular or comprised conglomerates on that stage, it's problematic. Big Frida, No Limit, Cash Money, Young Money. Like, to me, full stop. Simply because it's not like, and yeah, to your point, there have been Super Bowls in New Orleans, but isn't this the first one since Jay-Z took over?
Oh, that's a good point of view I haven't really thought about, though.
Because you also have to remember, you might be a little bit too young for this, but 20 years ago, after Nipplegate, which was 2004, yeah, they stayed far away from anything hip hop for the most part, with very few exceptions. So this is literally first and damn near only opportunity that Wayne would have had to be on that stage. And I'm not trying to be funny, but until Kendrick started going on his beefing tour, wasn't nobody like, oh, he should headline the Super Bowl. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, his Super Bowl performance was okay. It was okay. It wasn't the highlight of that Drae thing for me, and it wasn't the highlight for anybody. The highlight for most people was 50 Cent hanging his big ass upside down, talking about, go shorty, I don't want to fall down. So I don't think it is necessarily sour grapes or him whining. You're talking about somebody who, after Jay-Z falsely retired, said that he was the best rapper alive since the best rapper retired, and then backed it up for decades. So does he deserve it? Yeah. Is he going to get it? Probably not. Is that right? Absolutely not.
Because my big discrepancy with the... Go ahead, Jamon.
You don't think Wayne will ever get a Super Bowl performance? I mean, I know you're not going to get New Orleans, but it's very rare that people perform in their hometown for the Super Bowl. I think that was just a LA thing. But I think Wayne can get it. If he got to clean it up a little bit, because what he did at his own festival, it wasn't, well, to me, what I saw, it didn't look like the best performance, but I think he got the songs. I think he got the catalog. He did what he had to do already to get it. He's that level for sure.
Here's the thing. When the NFL was looking for somebody to be an ambassador for hip hop or for music, they went to a particular rap icon. And that particular rap icon had a conversation with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z, according to this particular rap icon, said, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Next thing you know, he's sitting there at the daggone press conference doing the very thing he told Jermaine Dupri not to do. So you can't really hit me with, it's not like this couldn't happen. It's not like Jay-Z hasn't been known for preventing people from opportunities. And I'm a Jay-Z fan. But I am a person that's going to call a spade a spade. So yeah, if I'm Wayne, I'm a little bit concerned, and if I'm honest, I'm probably a bit perturbed. So
my big problem with the Jay-Z situation is how when he went with Colin Kaepernick and then said we're past kneeling, and now you're doing deals with that. To me, when I was brought to my attention, I said, wait a minute,
we know what the kneeling was for, right?
What was the kneeling for again? For the people I need a little reminder myself, actually.
Well, basically what was happening was there was so much police brutality going on that Colin Kaepernick would just sit on the bench And there was a former soldier who went to him and said, "Listen, I understand why you're protesting, but it's a lot more respectable for you to take a knee." And that came from somebody who served who was a career military veteran. Said, "Hey, you might want to take a knee." Then everybody started taking knees, and then they said, "If you start taking knees, you won't be fired, or you won't bench," because you have to remember, it wasn't about protesting, it wasn't about the flag, it was about the U.S. Armed Forces contract that they had with the NFL. Because constitutionally, you're not supposed to be using the flag for anything that is commercially financially viable. You're not supposed to do that. You're also supposed to not ever display the flag flat. The NFL does both of those things in order to bring up recruitment for the U.S. Armed Forces, particularly the Army. And so don't get outraged about one violation and not get outraged about another.
So is that point to say, like, when he says we're past kneeling, is that like a good thing he said, or are you saying that's like you got to?
No, it's a horrible thing he said.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Wait, so that's pretty bad. You're saying we're past kneeling, and it goes deeper than just Colin Kaepernick's feelings about black people. That's
right.
crazy.
It's like Damon Wayans made that funny skit in his stand-up where he said, they'll find one Negro to give a bunch of money to and be like, "Hey, is there racism?" "No, I don't see no racism around here." That's what that was. You know what the kneeling's about. You know what the kneeling's about. And then he was like, "But I'm here." And everything.
I think he played two sides of the coin, because he said that, and then he put out a song called "Still OJ," where he's literally speaking about the guy that you referencing. I'm gonna get a guy a bunch of money, and he's gonna say, "I like OJ. I'm not black. I'm OJ." Okay. Jay's confusing in that aspect, because like you say, he'll tell you we over kneeling when we really not. You got people wearing MAGA hats to football games.
Now,
so
is that good or bad?
I mean, they kicked out a dude in Buffalo with the MAGA T-shirt, but then Nick Bosa had on a hat after the game.
Wait, they kicked out a fan with a MAGA T-shirt?
Yeah, because he wouldn't cover it up. Yeah.
Isn't that, can the NFL do that? Isn't that some type of discriminatory act?
Private business.
Wow.
The stadium is a private entity, so they have the right to refuse whoever they want.
That is sickening. So I mean, hey, Jay-Z and I'm always been aligned with the Democrats. I mean, this makes perfect sense to me.
Sure.
As of why he would do that. But it's just kind of crazy. So now when you break down that perspective on Lil Wayne, had they been there since Roc Nation took over? That is kind of interesting, because the way the industry reacted, I was like, they have to know something. I mean, based on all the title situation and how people felt about that and how everybody was coming at Jay-Z, and he even still did it, even though he paid his taxes and helped him when Birdman wouldn't help him. I was like, there has to be some underlying shit going on that people don't really understand.
I'm not mad at Kendrick, the Kendrick choice. I think he's on fire. I think it works. I just think the timing of the beef ruined it for Wayne.
The timing, right?
Yeah, because it's like Wayne's not going to be a part of this now. He's not going on stage with the dude who called his man a pedophile. He's not doing that. It's not happening. I know they got songs together. That's cool. That's not happening. I mean,
I was hearing a lot of people say, like, it's bigger than the Super Bowl is bigger than New Orleans anyway, and majority of the people from the NOLA. This is what some people of different skin complexion were saying, that majority of New Orleans people wouldn't be able to afford to go to the Super Bowl anyway. So they're gonna pick the act that's bigger than New Orleans to draw a more wider audience. And I was like, oh wow.
But Lil Wayne is one of the biggest global rap superstars in the history of the genre. One, two, the Super Bowl is bigger than LA, but they got a whole bunch of LA artists. If you don't count the fact that Mary J. Blige is from Yonkers and 50's from New York, like, nah, this was a choice. I don't think anything happens by coincidence. I don't, and I think it was deliberate. I think they particularly overlooked that whole situation. And I'm just not a fan of it. I don't trust this. I don't trust corporate Jay-Z. I don't like corporate Jay-Z.
I think you gotta play the game. I think it's like kind of like the Grammys, how you gotta play the game to get the Grammy. I think you gotta play the game to get the Super Bowl, and I don't think Wayne did that. I think Kendrick and his crew, you can tell they're playing the game everywhere. You gotta play the game to get what you want. The Grammys, you play in the game. It shows 7 noms. He already won 17 times or something like that. So he plays the game, and I think that's how. Yeah.
Or does he have a boss that runs half of the industry named Jimmy Iovine?
Woo!
Yeah, that too.
Wait,
Does he?
Jimmy Iovine own they under
That too.
above TDE?
Is it
Kendrick linked with Interscope.
Interscope?
Oh man.
Jimmy Iovine made more money on Beats by Drae than Drae did.
Yeah.
Jimmy Iovine won the East Coast West Coast beef. So let's not act like he's playing the game other than he's taking orders. And see, that's the problem. I'm not an employee. So when employees base their logic on award shows and things that don't matter, you mean to tell me that somebody who's a multi-billionaire at this point really needed that NFL job? A person that can literally buy out any arena at a given time needed that NFL job? No, he took it because it was just a nice little appointment. And he took that appointment because there's a whole bunch of other people behind him that are fueling that situation. All of these folks are following orders because ain't none of them own a damn thing.
See, I see when you brought up Jimmy Iovine, I didn't even look at it like that. Sometimes we look at the artists like the household, and there's nobody else above them. Damn.
Somebody above everybody.
I honestly, for some reason, I thought TDE was like this independent. I completely forgot they did it. Damn. This changes my whole perspective on this whole situation. It's too many
to get
power
to a
components
certain
in this.
height using it with independence is very, very, very tough.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it never happens. You can't point to
not
somebody
not a
independent.
hip hop.
No,
Not a
you
hip
can't.
hop.
You can't point to anybody independent. Hell, even outside of hip hop, look what they did to Madonna. Madonna had a record label called Maverick. Michelle and Ocello was trying for 15 years to get a record deal. They gave her one, and they shut Maverick down because of who Madonna chose. That's what they do. The industry is controlled. Y'all love saying, "Oh, who's my man? Chance the Rapper? Oh, he's independent. Yeah, okay. Macklemore, he's independent. Yeah, okay. Come on, man. They make you feel like these people are independent because they craft that story."
What you think about Russ?
Can I use the bathroom down here?
No.
Mom's in the shower.
My bad.
you good?
What about
I
Russ?
got you.
I don't know enough about Russ to say one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, with the whole Chance the Rapper thing for a long time, they had me thinking he was the biggest independent when he dropped that Colors album through Apple. I said, how you drop a whole album through Apple as an independent? How, Chance?
It don't happen. And like people can say whatever the hell they want, but I was in the industry since the Reagan administration. So I've seen a lot of come, seen a lot of go. You can't even name me an artist that has not cut the check in order to get where they are. Can't name one. Up to and including Elvis, Michael Jackson, Boyz II Men. I can do this all day. Pick somebody.
But
I can show you who wrote their check.
I saw that. So how they let Michael get away with just buying the Beatles catalog and
Nah.
It wasn't as easy as they made it seem, right?
No,
he's dead.
Yeah, that part.
He didn't get away with it. They killed him.
You got to remember, right? So I want to try and respect your platform and stay on topic, but you brought up a question, so I want to answer that direct question. So Michael is a constant learner, was a constant learner, God rest his soul. So he's having a conversation with his friend Paul McCartney, and Paul was like, yeah, no, the real money is in publishing. Well, tell me how that works, Paul. Well, Michael, you buy publishing, and then you can put it in commercials, distribution, so on and so forth. Every time somebody spins that song, you get a check. You can license it out, blah, blah, blah. He said, matter of fact, in 2 days, the Beatles catalog goes up. He said, okay. And then Mike was like, yo, buy it. And basically, he bought the company that owned the Beatles catalog. That company also happened to wind up later on through various and clandestine processes, taking over half of Sony. So Mike wound up with half of Sony. And I saw the paperwork because Dick Gregory showed it to me. Wow. And I was like, yeah. So those are power moves. And when we make power moves, they get real upset. That's why you got to be like the Dark Knight, the first Dark Knight. Remember the first Dark Knight when Bruce Wayne had bought all these companies through shell corporations, this, that, and third, and bought his company back? That's the move you got to make. I own things you'll never know I'm a part of. That's it. And you can't trace it back to me. That's how you have to move if you want to stay alive. Mike didn't understand that.
That's genius. Now, speaking of power moves,